This is the Padua Podcast Network.
If it's an animal, I don't know, it'd have to be a pretty big animal to turn that thing over. Running Fever, episode 208. Update. Welcome to Running Fever. My name is Michael Davis. This is a podcast about fitness, diet, and medicine. And my goal is to stay as a happy, healthy, to live a long, happy, healthy, and active life right up to the very end. See, I'm getting the hang of it. And I want that for you too. So come on along and we'll get there together. It's May 17, 2020. It's a Sunday morning. I am at Lake Atalanta in Rogers, Arkansas, walking around. It's kind of wet. Here it's just been wet, so you can't just wait until the thing gets dry. Forecast for a light rain today, but I haven't seen any rain, but there's definitely a lot of water going over the spillway. As I can hear it, even though I'm probably maybe half a mile away from it. Now, I can still hear it. And the ground is completely wet here. Something knocked over my garbage and recycling receptacles last night. And it was weird. I didn't know until this morning when I went to take something out there. But I heard it, last night. I'm laying in bed and I hear something. I hear just like a click. It sounds like it's inside the room. But, it's outside, so it's kind of muffled. But interesting. If it's an animal, I don't know, it'd have to be a pretty big animal to turn that thing over. I'm not sure a raccoon could do it. So it's kind of curious. Anyway, I was going to say that's completely off topic, but I don't really have a topic today. I did, however, want to make sure that I made a sort of correction to episode 209. And you probably got, even though this is episode 208, I think I'm going to release that one first, just because chronologically, the order thing, don't worry too much about it. It's been kind of crazy. You will hear all of the episodes and all of the episode numbers will be represented one way or another. So in that episode, I wasn't wearing a mask, and not wearing a mask today, but that's okay because I'm outside and I'm not in a dense, there's hardly anybody here, actually. A couple of fishermen, and I was definitely at least 6 feet away from them. Anyway, otherwise, when I'm going out, I'm going to a grocery store, somewhere like that, I'm wearing a mask. So in episode 209, I wasn't yet doing that. And we are in the middle of a pandemic crisis. COVID-19 is what it's called most popularly. And that is the virus. It's highly contagious and fatal in a small percentage of cases, but we've been fighting this for several months now. And so in episode 209, I said that the only reason for wearing a mask, really, because it's not dense enough. The holes in a cloth mask aren't dense enough to prevent the virus from getting through. So it won't keep you from breathing in the virus. And also, your cloth mask isn't sealed to your face or anything. So I said the only reason for having one of those cloth masks is to keep you from touching your face. Now that's one good reason, but there is another reason, and that is that the virus travels in, it's kind of weird how it travels. It's not in water, it doesn't live in water, but it does live, or liquids, but it does kind of live in steam, I guess. If you sneeze and little particles of stuff come out, that can transmit the virus to someone else. It is a respiratory thing. Getting pretty loud here. As you can see, people are getting more active, more traffic on the streets. Been noticing this. And the spillway is very loud because, hey, it's just been a lot of rain going on. A lot of rain. And wind too. One of my trees in the backyard is kind of still bent over from the wind yesterday. Maybe it'll stay that way. I'm trying to think in the long run, trees are gonna, if they're not damaged, they're going to bend towards the water and the sun. So I'm not worried about setting it straight or anything. Yeah, that little creek that sort of keeps the dam level is flowing pretty freely now. So the cloth mask keeps us from spraying out stuff if we cough or sneeze, or I don't know, maybe breathe too hard or something. And in any event, it can help stop or retard the spreading of the virus. And so basically you're wearing it for other people. And you may say, well, I'm not sick. And the thing is, you can be carrying the virus and be contagious and infecting other people without having any symptoms at all. And that's the crazy thing about it. Now, there's some other sort of good news. I guess apparently this is common knowledge to medical professionals, I guess, or virologists or whatever. Neither of which I am. And if a virus will mutate, but it should get milder over time because it depends on us. If the virus keeps killing its host, natural selection will keep those deadlier strains of the virus from getting, from continuing on. The quicker it kills you, the less people you can infect, and the harder it is for it to spread. So, good news, but of course, it can take years for that to happen. As I mentioned before, we still have a couple of other pandemics that are still considered active pandemics. And that doesn't necessarily mean that these are more deadly. I think it just has to do with the spread and scope of infection. among large numbers of people in different parts of the world. Anyway, I defined it in episode, I believe, 207. Also want to welcome MC Dermot. Just going to check, make sure that's the right name. But MC Dermot, I don't know whether you're male or female, but you are the latest YouTube subscriber, and we welcome you to Running Fever. I hope you will enjoy it and live a long, happy, healthy, active life. So it is mid-May of 2020, and what's going on? This is an update episode. How you doing? Only walker I've met today. And what I did was I took part of my hood of my good old Red Sox 11-year-old sweatshirt and covered my nose and mouth so I could have that separation. He was wearing a mask too, so that's good. But it's hard to talk and be recorded and be understood, and to exercise. Now my gym, continuing with the update, my gym is now open. In episode 209, it had been closed for a couple of weeks. It is now open on a limited basis, and the last I heard, I wasn't able to play racquetball, but other parts of the gym are open, including some classes, and weights and cardio machines are there, and they are allowing limited swimming. Of course, you're expected to wear a mask when you're not exercising, and the classes are limited, and you're expected to also keep distances, and they are assuring us that they're doing more thorough and being more vigilant about cleaning and disinfecting everything. So that's happening, and I hope I will get back there this week, and then I can report to you on that experience. I've been doing my dumbbells. I say been, well, not a regular. I haven't really reestablished my habits yet, but I have the dumbbells at home, and so that has provided me with a little bit of resistance training. And getting out here is pretty much it. Less frequent trips to the grocery store, and what they've told us about work is that they're going to start having people come back into the office possibly in June. And as usual, of course, it's going to be a phased approach. And what I guess the reason we're doing that is, we talked about early in the progression of this thing, they talked about leveling the curve. And the curve being the rate of increase. So if it's a steep curve, then the number of people getting the disease on a daily basis is going up. And Johns Hopkins has a pretty good chart of this. And at the peak in the United States, which is the worst in terms of total number of cases, of course, I don't know about China because the reporting there is apparently not happening. China, I'm not seeing Russia, but several countries are on that site is being reported. But peak was over 30,000 new cases a day. And last I checked, I believe was Thursday. And that was, 4 days ago. And that day, or the previous day, there was less than 20,000 cases. So you can see that number is coming down slowly. I believe the peak was in late March. But it's just been really slow. And to say that I'm critical of government in general is a gross understatement. But I've actually been fairly pleased with how the situation is being handled in terms of at least how information is being sent out, consulting experts, coordinating with guidelines. Our state has been having daily press conferences with the governor and the secretary of Department of Health, who is coincidentally a epidemiologist, which is convenient for us here in Arkansas. And so we've been seeing the charts with regard to what's going on in Arkansas. And something about seeing the governor actually, when he's walking up to the podium, he's got a mask on. And of course, it's been a different mask every day given to him by various organizations around the state with designs on them and things like that. But he comes up with the mask on and he takes it off before he gives his press conference. So basically, as long as I see him doing that, then I'm going to continue. You know, if he's taking the time on a daily basis to come out and talk about this thing, it's probably something we still need to be concerned about. But we get updates about the sort of phased approach to coming back to work, opening up the economy, etc. So things are looking better, but I just wanted to correct that about wearing a mask. Wear a mask not for yourself, but for others. And as a society, this is one thing where we have to act together in order to have success. So there you go. Hope this has been informative as an update. And love to hear from you. Running a Fever, mail@runningafever.com. Send in your questions, what you'd like to hear me talk about, suggestions, success stories. And we will trudge the road together. So, you got the fever, so catch it, spread the fever, and you don't have it, catch it. And I will talk to you next time on Running Fever.